I'd like to now welcome forward Ambassador His Excellency Dang Dinh Quy, Permanent Representative of Vietnam to the United Nations.
Yeah, thank you, the organizer, to allow me to speak at a very important event. And I listened carefully to all the previous speakers, and I feel very moved about that Fidel, about the image, about the legacy of Fidel, and the solidarity with the Cuban people. That thanks comrades and thanks friends for this very valuable opportunity for me. And I think for the Vietnamese that for many decades, Fidel has been seen as a symbol of revolutionary heroism, spirit of undaunted struggle and desire for freedom and happiness. So the Vietnamese people always keep in mind the image of Cuban commander with love, admiration, and deep sympathy. So in our histories of the struggle for national liberation, that we never forget that under the leadership of Fidel, Cuba was a pioneer in the movement of supporting Vietnam. In the fight against the foreign invader, and also in the national reconstruction after the war. So we remember that Cuba was the first country to recognize the National Liberation Front in the south of Vietnam in 1963. And also the first and the only country who set up the embassy in the front line in 1967. So, I mean, that your generation and my generation still remember that in 1967, how difficulties in Vietnam, it was the fierce time of the Vietnam War. I think during this period, I think Cuban people also faced with a lot of difficulties. But yet, under the leader of Fidel and Fidel himself, expressed to the Cuban people, we never forget the quote that Fidel said, for Vietnam, Cuba willing to donate blood. We never forget about that. So I think besides that, Fidel sent many, the construction engineers to build very strategic roads, hundreds of kilometers of roads, and especially build that hospital in the front line. So many of these hospitals still functioning very well, even now, many years after the war. So the Cuban doctor keep going to that area, and the local people that value it very much. It is a very, very concrete example of the solidarity that Fidel set an example, and the Cuban people that landed to Vietnam during the wartime and now. And I think that it is very clear, crystal clear, that internationalism, the selfishness, and it's still going on today when we see that the Cuba send dozens or many medical teams to help the countries in fighting COVID-19 pandemic. It's great. I think that during that course, I think that Fidel has very close relations with all our leaders. Let me share with you some, some image that, yeah. Again, that is the historic visit that Fidel visit the Quang Tri in the front line of Vietnam in 1973. You see, Fidel, this is the electric light, a McNamara line, yeah, separated between the north and the south. And everyone knows that pictures in the museum, the Revolutionary Museum of Vietnam, that Fidel and the leader of Vietnam on the top of the tanks. Next to him is the Prime Minister of Vietnam, Pham Van Dong. It's here. Beautiful pictures, yeah. It's setting a great example of solidarity among the leaders of between two countries. And there is the General Jap, if anyone, you know, familiar with the Vietnamese, yeah, with the war against the foreign invaders, General Giap here. So when we're talking about the legacy of Fidel and you know, international solidarity that he set for not only for Cuba, for Vietnam, and for all countries in the world, we feel about responsibility of our generation, because now in Vietnam is changing. So young generation, they pay attention to different things that they are not very well educated about the past history. So we think that it is a very great responsibility of my generation and the next generation to keep the legacy and to keep the solidarity and friendship between Cuba and Vietnam and other countries going on like that. It's a very great burden. So for me, myself, and I can try my best. And I think that my generation will try our best so that legacy of Fidel and Fidel symbol will live with us forever. Thank you very much for this opportunity.